So let's quickly move to the next session, and I think that is the last session for today. We have our very own big boss, Mr. Emmanuel Gadasu, who is the VP IT and Innovations for EGIGFA, and he's also known as Mr. Privacy, who happens also to be my mentor when it comes to data protection and privacy. He led me to become the latest certified data protection officer. So, he's one of our big men. So please help me welcome. Yeah, and he also happens also to be a fellow, like you are now. Oh, please, let's keep clapping, Okay, so I'll hand over to you now, Mr. Gadasu. Thank you. Yes, and he's also now part of the Ghana, I can't mention the full one, but he's our big boss. He will tell you more.
All right, thank you. Okay. Testing, okay. I think everything is on course now. All right, so we hit the ground running.
I think
right now, I'm standing in the shoes of EGIGFA. Hey, Charlie, where is your? Oh, don't worry, you have the slides. This operator, which direction is your? No, I think it's connecting there. Okay. Yes, so what are we going to talk about today and why? I think privacy is something that we all cherish, which we are all interested in. All right, it will interest you to know that privacy started right from the Garden of Eden. And I'll prove to you with biblical quotations. All right, as we journey along. Yes. Okay, so let's look at a brief privacy statistics across the world. What the various organizations that you know are into deep research. So, for example, if Gartner is telling you about something, if Pew Research Center is telling you about something, then know that these are very serious things that we need to take very good care of. Okay, so basically, globally, nothing is saying that about 85% of global adults want to do more to protect their online privacy. All right. Of course, 45% of Americans have had their personal information compromised by a data breach in the last 5 years. Okay, and these are very startling revelations when you look across. All right, what is Pew saying? It says 61% of users agree that privacy policies are ineffective. Then lastly, Cisco is saying 47% of adults across 12 countries have stopped relationship with companies over data privacy policies. And this is very serious. So if people are going to stop using your product or service because of the policies that you have, thinking it is inefficient or it doesn't address their needs, then there's something that we need to critically look at. All right. Okay. Yes, you saw this image yesterday. Yes, when Dr. Ken was presenting. Of course, in 60 seconds, you are generating these huge volumes of data. Now, maybe minimum, the gadget you have here will be 2. Minimum, the digital devices that you have will be 2. Some phones are multiple. Now, at a point, I carry about 7 phones. 7. because of what I do, you understand? All right, because from a developer's perspective, I have to test on different devices and all others, okay? So I have 7 phones, and these are all generating data connected in real time. So you can imagine. Now, the minimum you have is 2, and we are generating concurrent data. So there are huge volumes of data you are generating, you alone. All right. Many people have had multiple devices, yes. As we increasingly conduct our day-to-day lives online, and using technology, it often means we are sharing our personal information, which can put us at a risk. At any point in time, your location is being shared, your email, your phone number. These are the basic exchanges that we give out. And these are the identifying information also about us. So today we are going to talk about how to protect that information. Because it's all about you. I think, was it yesterday in the morning when I came, I was just like, almost everybody was glued to their phone. The person closest to you, you are not smiling with that person, but you are smiling on comments that you don't even know where the person is. That is how far we have all come to. The least moment, everybody will pick up their phone. Standing by the trotro station waiting for a car, you will be on your phone. In church, you will be on your phone. Eating. Even spouses lie on bed. Everybody is, you are smiling with somebody you don't know. But the very person close to you, you are far away. But so the goal of this presentation is to help us know more about our privacy rights and how the government and businesses have the responsibility to protect that information about us. All right. Now, data protection in a nutshell. Everyone has a fundamental right to privacy that is guaranteed by a law or a set of laws. Now, almost every country, either it is a very explicit law in the form of an act, or it is embedded in one way or the other in their constitution. You will find a way of your data being protected or that right being given to you. So in Ghana, ours started from The 1992 Constitution, Article 18.2. So even without data protection, our Constitution guarantees you that right of your privacy, Article 18, Clause 2. It is there. All right. The various legislation set out how this right of the individual is to be achieved. So as an expansion of that, acts are created to espouse how these rights can be protected by way of additional laws. So Data Protection Acts, the GDPR, CCPA, POPI Act. Okay, all these are different laws from different countries to guarantee that. Then where individuals give their data to an organization, then the organization must protect it. So you see, the further you have my data, so for example, all your data you have given to EGIGFA in course of this training, it is the mandate of EGIGFA to protect that data. So the further you have given it does not mean it ends there. So whether in the mosque or in the church, in the school, wherever you are, the moment you receive that data, you must pay the law. All right. Then enforcement of the law is overseen by the various supervisory authorities in their respective jurisdiction. So every country also have an authority created to just foresee that. So for example, Ghana, we have the Data Protection Commission, and their mandate is only one: to protect the privacy of the Ghanaian citizen. That's all. To protect the privacy of the Ghanaian citizen. And across the world too, that's the mandate of most of these supervisory authorities across. And every country does their own. Why must we protect personal data? Well, the first point to note is that it is a legal requirement, so that you can't opt out of it. The law says you have to. And that is it. It's simplicity. So no argument about it. You can go to heaven and come down. The law is the law. The law is the law. Yes. All right. But let's look at it. Number one, promote good information handling practices. So if you protect personal data, you put in place the appropriate mechanisms. Then also protect the company's reputation and your own as individuals also. The individuals are increasingly aware of their data rights. You see, now recently, and I'm sure one of them as a result of the recent 1 million coders program, somebody has sued Vodafone for 2 million Ghana cedis for using her picture. Yes, without her consent. Now, somebody also sued a hospital for showcasing CCTV in the consulting room. Gone were the days. Who are you to challenge a hospital, a medical doctor, for doing their work? But because people are increasingly becoming aware that no, you can't put CCTV anywhere you like. It is not. I have a right, which the constitution or a law guarantees. So now they can begin to exercise that. So people are becoming knowledgeable. So if you underplay that, you are putting your organization or yourself. So as a neighbor, I know that you can't just what, or at the landlord, you can't just put CCTV watching at my window. I'm a tenant, but you don't have that control. So you will see, well, depending on where the time where it is anyway, if my rent is within the middle and I decide to go, I can show you some pepper. You understand? I can see you. But if you owe the landlord, then he's okay with that one. So you have to know exactly where you are at the point, whether you want to leave or you want to stay before you go ahead. But most people will exercise their right because they are becoming what? Much aware. Then investigation audits may be carried out by the supervisory authorities. Of course, now we all know MTN is under what? Scrutiny by both the Cyber Security Authority and the Data Protection Commission. As a result of what? That breach that happened. And you know, if your organization is under scrutiny, you are not even so comfortable to operate. Because there are certain things they are going to put a stop. They don't do this, wait until we are done with it. So business-wise, you'll be constrained. And you know, if MTN calculate how much they lose in a minute, you'll be surprised. They don't calculate in months. They are talking about a second. So a second's wasted without anybody making call or going to the need, they are losing money. All right. Then lastly, litigation, penalties, fines if you get it wrong. And I'm going to show you, you'll be amazed at some of the punishment that have been meted out to Google, Facebook, and the rest. You may think that they don't like this company, but no, the law is the law. All right. So these are some of the reasons why you have to protect our personal data. Hey, operator. Okay. Yeah, so let's look at some of the penalties. So this is the EU, the data protection, the GDPR. All right. So look at, the fines are in euros. So Spain has been fined. In Spain, fined what? Google LLC, Google. They fined them some time ago in 2022, 10 million euros. France fined Google LLC. 90 million euros, yes. 90 million euros. We are talking about millions euros. All right, France also has, Sweden also fined Google LLC. So I concentrated actually only on Google and Meta, okay? Okay, so look at France. Also initially has fined, in 2019, has fined Google LLC. And look at the offense, the last column. It's an insufficient legal basis for processing. They didn't say absence of it. So you can imagine if there was total absence. So it means you have, but it's not so strong. What you are saying, it doesn't correlate well. Or the protection you claim you have put there is not so strong when we analyze. So it's not about you. You know, I was just laughing with Odrego, when our dear sister said her question is simple. I said, hey, you are asking the question. It is simple to you, but the one answering, is it like all lecturers do? I said, but this question is very easy. You can do, but the students are just sweating. So to you, it can be very simple. All right. So you can claim you have done it, but to them you have not. All right. So this is what? The Irish Data Protection Authority finding Meta. This is only on Meta. No, in fact, if you look at the dates, you may think every 3 months they find them. Yes. And the whole world, the Irish data, they are the most brutish. No nonsense. So they are not on Facebook. They are not there. You know, they don't go do anything anywhere. I think they are only on some selected one. They will find you, yes. Yes. And let's look at it. So 2022, they find what? 17 million euros. The same 2022, 3 months after, that was March 15th. In what? September, they find what? 400 and what? 5 million euros. Then another 2 months, November 2022, 265 million euros. Then what? 2023, January, 390 million euros. Okay. Then 2023, May, 1.2 billion euros. Then just last year, what? September 27th, what? 91 million euros. Oh, yes. They pay. Oh, like then they will not be finding them. The law in Europe is either 20 million euros or 4% of your global annual revenue of the preceding year, whichever is higher. No, you didn't understand the GDP, so that's why you couldn't say A. 4% of your global, all the money you have made across the entire world, 4% of last year. That's the punishment. So this one is even small. This one is just, it's like they are pampering them. And this is about data protection. And see, insufficient. And they don't care. So it's not because we have fined you so we don't do it again. No, they will continue doing it. This year it will still happen again. Separately. So this is how serious this thing can be to organizations. Now let's look at the Ghanaian one. Our own lawsuit. Yes, so ours is in, penalty units. Ghana, we fine in penalty units. One penalty unit currently is 12 cedis. So you multiply 12 cedis by the penalty units. And the highest penalty unit is 5,000 in this particular act, 5,000. So that means 5,000 times 12, that's 60,000 Ghana cedis. Only. Or you go to prison for 10 years. So ours is the prison one, that is the most serious one. Other than that, because 60 Ghana cedis, I think if you do offering, free will offering right now, we will raise that money. But nobody will attempt going to prison for you for 1 hour. We can sacrifice our lunch, our lorry. I can walk home and sacrifice my lorry fare for you, but Charlie, prison there, nobody will go. All right, but so what are some of the offenses? The last but two, it says sale of personal data. When you sell personal data, so EGIGFA, we have, collected your data and we decide to sell it. Not as an institution, but maybe an individual. Maybe IT, I will have access to this information. Somebody wants to organize some program and I give it. And they give me 1 CD or they buy data for me. The interpretation of the law, you have sold it. So you are the LSRC President Association. An organization can give us your student data that you have every year. They give you 1 gig of data. You have sold it. And conditional. Let me explain that one. The middle one. Conditional request for personal data before providing goods or services. In fact, we're looking for one organization, pizza, selling this in this Legon. If you buy pizza, they say they want your phone number before. What has pizza buying got to do with phone number? And they were doing that. They will not sell to you. High Sense was doing that. You go to buy, you have to. And that's what conditional. So with that, so does it mean my grandmother who does not have a phone cannot buy pizza? Maybe I spoke to that man, there's some food called pizza. And so let me also buy some. They say she doesn't have phone number, so they will not sell pizza. Or she wants to buy fridge because she does not have phone number, so you not sell. So that's condition. If you do that, that is the punishment. So you are flouting the law. So you can't say that, this is how we do it. No. In data protection, yes, it's not like that. All right. So now that you are aware of the penalties, both in Ghana, across Nigeria too also has it. And it is specified in everyone's law. All right, so what is privacy at all? To some people, it's about secrecy. To some people, it's about being alone. So everybody have their own definition of what is privacy to them. But what we want to run by in the context of this is the control an individual has over their personal data. So in data protection language, your privacy is the control you have over your personal information. So for example, why have you blocked some people on your status? You don't like them. Well, so you see, that's your privacy. So you want some people to see it, you don't want. That's it. So that is your privacy. Pardon? Oh, yes. So you get it. Okay, why would somebody ask you of your phone number and you gladly give? At that one, you say, no. They will do it. You say, you no go give. Why? No problem. Yeah. You can't be walking and be asking for phone numbers by heart. If you stop and you wind down your grass, that one will gladly give it. So you see, no, so you in doing that, that's the privacy we are talking about. You have control. So you determine that here I will give, this I will not give. That is it. So in data protection, that is the privacy that you have. So you decide what you want to do with your data. All right. Now, data protection cuts across 3 core dimensions. The first one is bodily privacy. And this was started in the Garden of Eden. In the book of Genesis. When God came down and asked, where are you? If they say, Adam, where are you? You say, we are naked. He didn't understand the question. But what? Is it? So, what Adam and the wife exercise was what? The autonomy of their body. So, God, you created us, but well, tell you can't come in where we are naked. Per the answer he gave. All right, so here, it's what? The right to autonomy over one's body, free from what? Invasive procedures, physical coercion, or bodily surveillance. Why does it matter? Bodily privacy protects human dignity, bodily integrity. Violation can lead to what? Physical, emotional, and legal harm, especially in healthcare, security, or what? Employment, what? Settings. You know, some people don't want you to see their body. No. So they will cover it, yeah. In fact, I think there was a story even, I think a professor gave it. Said, some people, I said a counselor, somebody was married, a couple, and the woman has never seen what? The nakedness of the husband before. For about 20 years. Internal fire. How did they? So you will feel it, but you don't see it. Well, but you see, data protection, so that's bodily privacy. So privacy actually started by what? From our body. You started covering your body to prevent people from seeing. So you determine, why haven't you covered your face? Because you want us to see your face. But other parts are covered. So you see the control you have over your body. Exactly. All right. Then we move to what? Physical privacy. And physical privacy, when our families began to grow, you see, people were now putting walls around their houses, so that tomorrow somebody will not see what you are doing in your own confinement. So if you are pouring libation there, you are praying in the middle of the night or whatever you are doing, nobody cares. So there's a wall. So that's also to limit people from having access. So that's why you will see some building. Of course, Ghana, you know, but Nigeria is mad. You will see walls taller than what the building. So you ask, what at all are they doing that a wall will be taller than the building? Is that your concern? Well, so you see how physical also came in. Then now we have now moved to what? Informational privacy, which you and I are enjoying. The right to what? Control personal data. What is collected, how it is used, who it is shared with, and for what purpose, or for how long you are going to keep the data. So yes, you have every right to ask EGIGFA, how long are you going to keep this data that you have collected about us? And we should be able to tell you, and we will tell you for how long we are. So long as you are in the fellowship, we will keep it. But the day you leave, after 5 years, we will destroy it. That is when you have left the fellowship. But if you are living and you are still a fellow, then we'll keep on what? Keeping it. So these are the dimensions of what? Privacy that we have. So it transfers from your body to the physical space, then to what? To information, which we can all see and experience now. All right. Now, privacy started long ago. So 35 years ago, privacy was mentioned in the U.S. by two brothers, and they wrote an article called The Right to Privacy, Warren and Brandes. That is when. So over 135 years ago, privacy was concerned then. I don't think, I can't tell, but for sure, there are only some few people living who are 135 years and above. So it started before your great-grandfather. Yes, and it will continue to be. So it has come down consistently. I will not dwell much on this, but consistently to this era. And countries are still enacting different laws. We are changing. Ghana, even ours is old, and we have amended it. It's yet to go for parliamentary approval. So the Act 843 or Data Protection Act 2012 will soon change because we need to adapt. KVET started, and they have already changed. Because we need to change the laws to meet the demands of our society. All right. No, so why privacy? Or what is privacy? I think we are. So depending on the background, the cultural setting, the belief system also, they define privacy in a very peculiar way. So generally, we say privacy is a fundamental human right. Okay? That has become one of the most important rights of the modern age. You know, now everything right, Charlie, the way people will jump at it, it's not smart, Yeah. Well, now UPSA, they are what? talk of the town now. Why somebody was asking, why would somebody piercing, a student piercing the nose has got to do with the intellectual capacity? That's the question somebody is asking. Yes. But that's the question somebody is asking. Because they are fighting for the right of the students. Well, okay. And generally, too, we have two types of rights. We have the absolute right and we have the qualified right. Absolute right, for example, the right to life. That one is unquestionable. You don't need to do anything to merit it. So long as you are a living being, then you are entitled to it. So, for example, the right to life. You can't determine that somebody's face is like VW, so he must not live. No, you can't determine that. So long as the person is a living person, they have the right to life. But rights, like for example, before you can, well, our constitution is not up to what? I don't think the constitution is up to 200 pages. But every day we are interpreting it. Every day we go to a sentence. That even you are clear, doc, you see that clearly your child even in class 5 understand that word. But lawyers will tell you they are going to what? Supreme Court for what? Interpretation. All right, so you see, in Ghana, for example, yes, it is only Ghanaian citizens that can take such matters to the Supreme Court for interpretation. As a foreigner, you can enjoy every other right. But to go to the Supreme Court and say they should interpret it, you have to be a Ghanaian citizen. So that's a qualified right. Certain conditions must be met. All right. Now, the United States sees what? Privacy as what? It says privacy is the right to be left alone. So that's the perspective from the what? The American perspective. In the UK, they say the right of an individual to be what? Protected against intrusion into his life, personal life, or affairs by what? Direct what? Physical means, or by what? Publication of what? Information. In Australia, they also see what? Privacy what? Is a basic human right and the reasonable expectation of every person. Well, so if you put all this in together, we'll still arrive at what? The privacy is the individual's what? Right to what? Control the information, whether physical or whichever belief system he or she has. All right. Okay. Now, why privacy matters? Now, there are some key things, okay? Privacy is a limit on what? Government power, as well as the power of what? Private sector companies. It puts a limit on what people can do with your information or how they can do with you or about you. So it limits them so that they don't cross certain boundaries. Without privacy, hey, everything will be available for everybody. Why is it that your salary, you have not posted it on your status to say, Tale, me, I chop big money? Or I chop small money? Is it? Okay, so that's one. Okay, if you are chopping big money, all eyes will be on you. Every family thing you will sponsor. All right, if you are chopping small money to what? You'll not be considered. So you see, so you limit all these people, agencies, individuals, about how much intrusive they will be to you. So your privacy limits people's power on you. So the more information people have about you, the more control they have about you. So those of us that every single thing you tell people, you put on your status, you are going here, you are from here, you are moving to this place. Well, the one that most Ghanaians do, the moment they travel outside the country, hey, status. Facebook was live here. That one they start chronicling what they are listening. All right. Then also what? Respect for individuals. Privacy is about respecting individuals. I don't want this. Don't show my picture. I will not give don't share my phone number. It's about respect. I don't want. You don't know the reason why I say I don't want. All right. Then thirdly, reputation was management. It enables people to manage their reputation. You see, right now, well, let me bring this one to practical life. I'm a church person. I'm a church person. All right. And the more I used to get closer to my pastors and other deacons and the rest. But you see, as a matter of fact, at times, we are all human beings. But the moment you hear something small, negative about them, when the person climbs the pulpit, no, look at this guy. So because of that, I don't, but you see, unfortunately, God can use a sinner no matter to affect you, to impact you. All right. So because I don't want those things to affect me, I don't get closer to pastors again. So that I can get the full benefit of when you climb the pulpit and you are preaching to me. So you see that, so this fine man has done this thing. He's a human. You see, we forget that one, that the person is a human. So what we are saying is that privacy, it's your reputation, because we don't know the other side of you. So we are judging you. Now we are all fine here in Clover here. But Charlie, if you get to see the other side, you may not even want to. So it helps maintain what? Your reputation. So the way people know you, because they don't know the other side. All right. Then what? Social boundaries. People establish boundaries from others in society. At times, it's not just because of religion, but see, without boundaries, everything will just be crouching in and be going in and out of you. All right. Then trust. In relationships, whether personal, professional, governmental, commercial, we depend upon what? Trusting the other party. Trust is something that without it, we can't move on in society. Why did our sister travel from Nigeria, all the places? Have you been to Ghana before? But you travel all the way. Whether we're going to kidnap you here, it's a fake thing. You didn't know. It's funny that she thought about it. Yes. What if? Yes. But you see, so she came based on trust. Yeah, it's the trust that you have. If it is broken, there's nothing you can do about it. And privacy brings out that trust in relationship that we have. All right. Then also what? Control over one's life. All right. You have the slide, and it's plenty, so we'll be rushing. But note your questions down. All right. Privacy also is a freedom of thought and speech. Well, you see, in our African context, at times I hear some politicians or people of authority, they do something or write something, I get angry. I can write, giddy, giddy, giddy. At times I can write about 1 page, 2 pages. Then I'll remember the internet does not forget. Then I'll just delete my post and then I'll go my way. You see, there's no freedom because, you see, people will use it against you. You understand? So, but freedom of thought, we are not able to express because you will either be quoted as NDC or NPP and it masks the whole thing. But maybe you are saying the truth. All right. Then freedom of what? Social and what? Political activities. Now, a lot of people are real politicians. But you see, where you are, your landlord is MPP. He has lost power. And you are going to hoist and be proclaiming Mahama 24-hour going. You are out of you are going. You get it? So privately, so when your landlord say this NDC government, or you allow them molest something, it's a lie. You can't go. But you see, so privacy, it will allow you to what? Live what? Peacefully with what? Your distance. Because they don't know which side you belong to. And it makes it safe for you. So they don't need to know your social boundaries. Okay, so I used to do this example. Right now, okay, if a Catholic priest, okay, put a handkerchief, white handkerchief here, tie it around this, and I will go. We'll be touching with Blessed Mary and we'll do the sign and cross. But if a Jagoraja comes to put something here right now, what will be the perception? Oh, yes. A lot of people will not enter this room. Was it yesterday? One time I wanted to buy some wachi or something. I wanted to buy some food. Yes, you see, privacy. So yes, so you know where I buy my wachi. All right, so I wanted to buy the food, but there was one particular prophet sticker on that. Then I just, I'm gone. Okay. I didn't mention any name. I said, no. They will go and pour some things into their. They will go and pour something into their food and claiming they are doing some things. And so you see, perception. So that's what you are saying. So you see, private. If he or she didn't expose that aspect, I would have gone in. But because that thing is exposed, So I said, no. This man, my spirit does not connect with him. So anything attached to him, I will not go near. And the Bluetooth is not pairing. All right. Then privacy also, lastly but not the least, ability to change and have second chances. You see, we believe, well, from where I come from, and I'm sure probably you too, we believe in second chances. God forgives sins. People change. You understand? So somebody will go and steal, but after several prayers, the person will encounter God and will change. Prison term can humble the person and he will change. But you see, if these things are all out there, people, no. This guy who stole this, he says, what change has he done? No, we will not believe in that. And I have a current example, a colleague, friend of mine, who is a serious IT guy, working with one microfinance, did 1 or 2. He ended up in prison 5 years. He's back. But for the past, 7 years, has not got a job, because if you Google his name, all those things will come. So, you see, because that matter is still in the public domain, there's no way. Maybe he can only go and farm. I hope you are getting this. But if it is private and nobody knows, you would have a second chance to leave. But as a result of this in the public domain, no, now you can't hide. All right. Then, not having to explain or justify oneself. You see, if we don't know anything about you, all right, and things are private, you control what can be. No, but you have to speak plenty. Oh, this thing, yes, it happened, but I didn't do it. So you have to be writing a lot of sentence and explanation to justify yourself as to why something happened or why something did not happen. But if nobody knows, we all day inside. We all day inside. All right. So you can see that what privacy matters. Now we talk about personal data. It is personal data not because it belongs to you or it is for you. It is personal data because it can identify you. So any information that either directly or indirectly identifies a living person, okay, then that is what? Personal data. Any information that's what relates to a living person is personal data. So not because it is public or it's hidden. Of course, your name is a public thing, but it's a personal data. Your mobile PIN and mobile number, we may not know, but it's still your personal data. So it's not because it is known or unknown that makes it personal. You know, at times we try to create it's personal, no, but because it can identify you. Yeah, fingerprint is also part of it. So, no, this is just what? It's not exhaustive. Sexual orientation, so many, all things that you do that can relate your address, where you stay. The man wearing the black car, driving G-Wagon, driving this, or when we put it together, we can identify. That's personal data. Your opinions. Yes, of course. The number plate is, when we go to DVLA, we can link it to somebody. All right. Or every form of ID is a personal data. Every form of ID. All right. Okay, when can you process data? Now, the law says that, before you can process, remember, you have the control. So you need to release the control before we can process. All right, and how do we release the control? So there are so many ways, 6. Okay? 6 ways you can give. So we call it the legal basis. So before you can give control for somebody to process your data, this is one of them must apply. If none of this, there is illegal. If none of this applies. So the first one is consent. So I ask, can I have your number, please? He has withdrawn his consent. He has not given me, so I can't. But the moment I give her the phone, and, ladies, how do the guys do? You just open it and give it to you. Then you start typing. Consent. They didn't force you. So you willingly, freely giving information. So when you freely give, so when the website and app asks you, and you type it yourself, and you press, I agree, send, that is consent. You freely, you are not coerced into doing it. So that's one. When you have consented to giving that, then you have given the person the permission, the legal mandate to go ahead and process your data. Or The next one is what? Contracts. When you have contract with people, you are bound by that contract. There are elements of contracts. Okay, sure. Sure. Mm-hmm. Question. Okay. You pack them down. Normally, I would have liked, because of the time, I like it very interactive. This pressing one. Okay. Yes. Mm-hmm.
From my background, when we
Yes.
talk about data,
Yes.
there is the stage of collection before we move to processing.
Processing. Yes.
So I will want you to clarify from both your personal perspective and then
Okay.
professional perspective. Because if I give, you ask me of my telephone number,
Yes.
it is I'm giving you my data.
Yes.
It's different from I'm giving you my consent to go ahead and process it for
Okay.
a second
Yes.
stage. Then later on when we finish, I can now
Okay.
ask
Okay. Yes, I get where she's coming from very well. Okay. In data protection, when we say processing, so we always add this clause, processing in data protection. Because processing, if you leave it, it will mean different things. So processing in data protection means everything you do with data. Anything. Including, number one, when you even watch it with your eyes, 0244, we call it processing. When you let the people feel, you collect it, processing. When you are even destroying, you delete, you are processing. When you search, you are processing. When you arrange them in alphabetical order, you group them in country by country, it's all processing. So everything you do to data, and that data protection is what? Processing. All right. Okay. So the next one is what? Contract. Necessary for the performance of a contract. So when you have contract to execute, okay, then it means you have given the person the mandate to process what? Your data. So for example, you sign a contract with what? An organization to use your picture for a billboard. Per the contract, they can process the data because you have a contract with them, so they'll go ahead and print the billboard and put it everywhere that they like. Or vital interest. Vital interest is what? In order to save the life of the individual. So vital interest is actually a medical term. Between life and death. So for example, in the unfortunate event that in your office somebody faints, okay, you don't know what is wrong with the person, but quickly HR goes to check their records. Oh, she is asthmatic. What do we do? What is associated with asthmatic people? They will have inhalers all around them. We'll check the purse, the car, the drawer, and everywhere. Then we get this inhaler, we give to her, and she's back to life. We have saved her life. But what it means that we have processed her what? Health information. Now everybody around will know this person was asthmatic. But we did that to save the person's life. So we have not violated the law. So long as we did it to save the person's life in that context, then we can go ahead. So if you have to process data to save somebody's life, you can go ahead because you want to save the person's life. Then the next one is what? Legal obligation. Necessary for the compliance with legal obligation. So a typical example is this. No matter how much money you have in your account, how much money you want to withdraw or deposit, if you don't go with your Ghana card, what will the financial institution do? Will they give you your money? Why? So, Bank of Ghana has asked them to do that. That's all. So, it's that if they don't do, Bank of Ghana will fault them. And Bank of Ghana is Ghana. You get it? Because Ghanaians have given it the power to make that law. So, it's by what? Indirectly, it is a Ghanaian law. So, legal obligation, they are doing what the law requires them to do. So, for example, if you go to any guest house, okay, they would want what? Your Ghana card number, passport, and other things to register you. It is a law that mandates them to do that. So they are fulfilling their legal obligations. So that one you can't say you will not give it. Then public interest. We pray that we don't get there, but the COVID is still rising now. Okay. Since when, before COVID, if you are going to any country, is AIDS not deadlier than, it's not a killing disease? But how many countries ask you to do HIV test before you enter their country? That one, which is easy, tell you don't come and destroy our people and then you leave. Do you get it? But when COVID came, what happened? We're testing people before either they come into the country or they leave the country. public interest. We wanted to save the public. So anything that will mandate that, you see, we save the public. So, for example, during the COVID time also, all the telco, Ghana Health Service was sending you COVID-related information. They didn't need your permission, whether they can send you message or not. They will go ahead in the public interest, want to educate everybody. All right. Then the last one is what? Legitimate interest. Okay? Legitimate interest comes in two folds. In your legitimate interest and in the legitimate interest of the business. So, number one, let's say your car is missing. You have 12 cars. One of them is missing. Then you are there, somebody calls you. And so, madam, I have seen your car on the Ebri Mountains. Then you get angry. Where did you get my number from? This number I have not used. Where did you get my number from? Then you are angry. Then the person, you be there and be making that noise. Me, I'm just trying to help you. I saw your car somewhere. Me, I called DVLA and they gave me your number. You are here shouting. You see, how many people, I'm talking about a reasonable person will be angry. No reasonable person will be angry because it is in your interest. Yes. Because without that, no, thank you. You would rather even be thanking that person. Unless the person is an unreasonable person who will get angry. All right. So then, so that is in your legitimate. Now, in the business interest. Okay. Yes. Yes.
Does DVLA have the right to give my contact number to an individual who calls and says, "Oh, he has found my car somewhere. I want to know the..."
No, DVLA has also considered your what? Interest.
But I can go, what if the person is lying?
No, so that's why. So they would have asked of the car. They would have done maybe that. Okay, because they did it. How did the person know that this is your car? He said that I have found this car number so and so here, and maybe evidence of a picture or something to DVLA. So they have done their due diligence before they went ahead. So DVLA would also have acted in your legitimate interest. Well, but whichever case, let's say they gave the number to you to call. Would you, the person who be, would you be?
I'll go
so
for
unless it is not true or they have given, but if it is still in relation to your car, you wouldn't be angry.
But in law, I'm not a lawyer.
Yeah,
yes.
but in law too. Yeah, so that's why they would have, DVLA would have acted in your legitimate interest. So that's what they will do, because they have done all the calculations and see that no, it is your car is missing. They found it, and the person wants to. Maybe the person was even driving it. No, but it can be in a real scenario also. No. Don't bring their car. We are talking about what should be. Yeah, but the current operation even, I think they even made a portal. When you type the car number, you see, which was wrong. They asked to pull it down. Oh, yeah, so the problem there. But should we combine the question and add this, or let's please, whichever way, I am comfortable with them anyway. Yes. All right. So the other side of the legitimate interest of the business. So you see, now we've spoken about your legitimate interest as an individual. Now, in terms of the business, let's put this scenario. You have gone for a facility, from a financial, you have gone for a loan, but you just want to, put some dignity to it. Yeah, okay. A facility, that's how they call it. Okay. Then now you finish paying. So which means you have no contract with that. Then you say, oh, guys, do you know what? Cancel everything about me. I don't want any record to show that I ever came for a loan because I've settled you. Do you think the bank will agree? No. Why? Yes. So they will also act in their legitimate interests. So the legitimate, either it is in the interest of the data controller or your, then it will fly. But in fact, even before you do that, you see, that one is also contextual. Before you can arrive at that, there's something we call what? LIA, legitimate interest assessment. So there's a whole assessment you have to do before you arrive at that conclusion that it will be in their interest or it will be in your interest. All right. Okay. Now, under data protection, we call some aspect of data special categories, or you hear sensitive personal data. It's Ghana that uses special categories. All the other countries use what? Sensitive. All right. Then these are what? They say you should not process these ones. Why? The reason why they are special categories is that when processed, it can be used to either discriminate against individual or to form a biased opinion about people. Before it can be sensitive, it can be used to discriminate against people or it will form a biased opinion. Okay. Now, there's this thing that the ride-hailing services are doing, which is what? Even AI, ethics is against that. There are certain places in Accra after 9 p.m. if you want to take car to that place, you will not get. You say, no cars are available. And my dear, you are not there. Which area? I didn't say it too. She said it. Why? But so you see, so by your location, you are a biased opinion. The algorithm is tweeted to be against you. That's bias. Okay. Devoid of whichever religion you are coming from, just assume the next person sitting by you is a gay. What's your perception about him? No, this gentleman, assume he's a gay. What will be your perception about him? So you see, no, it will form a biased opinion. No, don't mind this guy. Look at this TikTok gentleman here saying he's gay. Are you? No, that's the question. Is he okay? What do you mean? They will start asking, Tale, don't you have some sister that will let him discipline him so that you know that? Yeah. No, so you see the biased opinion. Or let's assume the next person by you is HIV positive. Do you know what you do? Let me describe what you do. You'll be there, you say, oh, I'm so tired. Let me just stand up. So you will stand here till we close. Madam, we say it for the camera, so.
Sometimes they will be sitting.
They'll be sitting, but they are standing in their heart. Or you touch something and you would try and avoid touching it. So you see, those are the discrimination and bias opinion. So, for example, let's look at this category. So, ethnicity. Hello? Ethnicity is one of them. So, when people you know your ethnic origin and other things, they can form a bias opinion. And I'm a Votarian, and my surname Gadasu. My elder brother is at Cohort. They were giving some scholarship. It was a political scholarship. He mentioned, he said Gadasu, so this guy is an NDC guy, forget about him. Straight away. Straight away, knock out. So you don't need to go there. No. Exactly. So no, it is happening. So that's why, you see, this thing, they say they are sensitive. No, they are sensitive means that when you are processing, an extra layer of care needs to be applied. All right? Because somebody has even announced publicly on the internet that if you are an ever, you will not you will not rent a room to you. Yes. Yeah, rent his house. So the person will come. You can see that this guy is clearly an ever, but he's called Kofi Kumsin. People start changing names by force. You understand? Or Dadson, Emmanuel Dadson. He's telling lie. He saw Gadasu and he's trying to lie. All right. Then political opinions. You are PDP member or NDC, NPP. Why have they sacked a lot of people? So it's now like the political, the ruling party, at that point when you apply, it means you belong to them. New King law. So you will sack all of them because they are NP. But if they don't know that you are, you may be spared. So you wouldn't want to even say it. So that's why I say that is also a sensitive one. All right. Then the next one, religious beliefs. Fine. Thank God in Ghana we don't do that. Religious fight is not here. But other places, Muslim, Christians, Judaism, they are serious fight, or Hindu. It's a serious fight. You understand? But Ghana we are talking. My landlord is is a Muslim. And if you come and we are sitting down, we are chatting. Alaji, the secret that he told me. One day he called me that I should bring pen and paper and write it down. The wife does not even know. But he told me everything and I recorded it down. So that in case the issue happened, I know, so that I will come in. He's a Muslim, I am a Christian. But we are living perfectly. Pardon? Traditionally, yes, I go to my hometown, I greet them. I will hold your hand and shake you. I don't care what is on your hand, but see, by the perception, the moment you do something, hey, Tale, this guy is too dangerous. You understand? So by perception, and they say this person is what? A Hare Krishna person. Hey, Charlie, this one, you understand? So these are all sensitive ones. Then also, genetic data, health data, then sexual orientation. Okay, this guy, is he? Ghana was crying foul. They say some people are going to Independence Square to take gay picture. Why? Why were we angry and all those things? So you see the perception. So you say these are sensitive. I'm sure if some people have gotten those guys, by now they would have been in their grave. You understand? So they want to keep it serious. So privacy will protect you from all these things. If people don't know, do it in your bedroom. So that's why I see our law, I think, we are not saying don't practice gay in your bedroom. How would we even know? But don't bring it to the schools or come and be pronounced. That's all we are talking about. Because whatever people do in their rooms, we don't know. We have no idea. For all you know, that guy making that noise, that's what he's doing. But he's not part. All right. So that's why we say these are what sensitive. So what it means that when you are processing them, extra care must be taken. You can't just treat them. So you see, you can't treat somebody's sexual orientation like the name. Name everybody can know. But sexual orientation, you can't say this person is a gay or this. You are putting the person at a risk. They will be in their home forever, or they will have to relocate. Because people will kill them. You can't go. Can you go to Saudi Arabia and say you are gay? My friend, what the hell do you mean? Who born dog? Who born dog there? Who born dog? You know, I was in Maldives, and it's a tourist place. So there's one place that you can take alcohol. And then when you take the alcohol, you have to take a certificate. So that when you come to the mainland and you smell alcohol, you show the certificate that it was that place. Yeah. certified drunk. So you see, so you can't do things anyhow in certain places. All right. Now, when can you process what special data? Okay, so all the other conditions that we said applies with the consent of the person. Somebody will tell you, oh, no, I don't mind. You say I'm a gay. I don't care. I believe in that. That's what I am. All right. But then when you also make the information publicly available. Do you remember this lady? Is it Amma Jujo or something? This lady who was promoting HIV. Amma Jujo Mensa or something. Yes. Yes. She was in my school those times that she was having, she did a mistake, some birthday party, whole story. But not knowing it was not true. She was just trying to promote AIDS education. But now when she grew up, she was not getting husband. Because your sister will ask you, oh, are you normal? They will ask you, this girl that says she's HIV positive. So you see, when you make certain information public about yourself. Okay, if I ask about Haruna Idrisu, who is he? Mm-hmm. 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 Okay, for which political party? Okay, so do you know him in person? Do you have his number? How did you know all this information about him? It's public. So you see, so he can confidently say it. And saying it, you are processing per what we have learned. But because it has been made public, who is Kennedy Japan? Kennedy or Kumpre Kun? So AKA showdown, yes. So you see, so these are information that have been made public. But certain people, if you mention their name right now, you will not know whether they are NDC or MPP. All right. Like who? Agrada. Well, she has been sentenced to 15 years imprisonment. Today. Agrada. Oh no, he was having pending cases a long time. So I think when we went on break, that's why the news came out. So they went, the judge before sentencing, they went for a pregnancy test. And she was not pregnant, so 15 years. Today, just an hour ago. So she's gone. So we can go and visit her at Insawam. All right. Now, so now, Doc. So yes, this is processing. When we say processing in data protection, this is what we mean. All these things are processing. So there's nothing you would do that is not processing. Everything. So everything that you do about what? Personal data is what? Processing. All right. Okay. Now, there are some few key definitions that we need to know when we are in the context of what? Data protection. Of course, when we're doing the accountings, now you understand the terminologies, right? Okay, top level domain, country level domain, whatever, domain, the CCTLD, you know all those things. So it's also good you are. Now, in data protection, when we say data subjects, the person the data is about, that's simple. The person the data is about. And in our normal life, we call them in different contexts. You see, now we are all here. Either you are a participant or you are a fellow. True of us? Training. Yes. Yes. Okay, a fellow in training. You understand? But fine. I know we have medical doctors, lecturers and others here, pastors and others, but because by the virtue of the location. Now, when you live here, you are a participant, you are a fellow, you are the founder. But when you go to hospital right now, how would they call you? It's the same person. Yes, or a client. Okay. How does MTN call you? Subscriber. Very annoying. So it's the same individual, but depending on where you are and how you are called. So we are saying the person. That's why we are using the person. So every information about you, the natural person, okay, is what? A data set. So in what? So in data protection, we are all data subject to that particular entity. All right. Then we have the data controller. So the data controller is the organization that determines the purpose, why they are collecting the data, not the one processing. Technically, the processor can be different from what? The controller. The controller can do their own processing, or they process, but we don't call them processors. It's only controller. All right? Okay. Now, the data processor is what? The organizations or that carries out specific tasks on behalf of the controller. So, Ghana Health Service, LIMS is the processor. The data is your data, but LIMS is the processor. Now, there are so many times that we don't understand how organizations operate. Mostly the organizations you see are not the owners. They are doing it on behalf of somebody. So the relationship. So, okay. So if you are using all the subscription services you use, that platform is a processor to you. So if you are using Microsoft 365, Microsoft is your processor because they are storing the data for you. OneDrive, Google Drive, all those things, all subscription services. All right, so they are the hot data processors. All right, then we have consent. We've spoken about consent already. All right, then profiling, an automated process of evaluating personal aspects such as age, gender, or any other criteria that we use. So these are some of the key definitions in that. All right, now data protection, or we process data. Please alert me the time. How many more minutes do I have? Hey, it's too short. Oh, isn't it? Yeah, it's too short. All right. So now, data protection, we have principles that we work by. So you see, all the penalties that were brought against those companies, they quoted the principle. They will quote the principle. So you see, data protection is also a matter of law. It is not cybersecurity. It is not IT. It's a matter of law. So whatever offense you breach, they will quote it and tell you, this is what you have done. All right. So, and these are the principles. Now, the principle ranges between 7 and 8. Ghana, ours is 8, okay? But mostly across the world, because some countries decide to break some of them down. But you will see minimum 7, maximum 8, okay? Principles. All right. Now, the first principle is accountability. So, data controller must be able to demonstrate compliance with each of their obligations under the data protection laws. So it is the duty of the data controller, that institution, so your church, your school, those things, so EGIGFA, it is the responsibility to make sure we are accountable. That means we will hold everything, we will do everything to protect that data. And that is what our responsibility. Then also purpose limitation, or in some cases you hear what specification of purpose, okay? Now, before you collect the data, you are supposed to inform the individual, this is what we are going to use the data for. And organizations do so through the use of what? Privacy notices on their website. So they tell you what they are going to use that information for. Or at the point of collection, you let the people know. So if it is manual, okay, at the point of registration, I'll tell you what the data is going to be used for. Then data minimization, you don't collect too much. Limit it. Just what you need. And a lot of us, we violate this principle. Oh, let's collect it. Later on, we'll find how we are going to use it. No. If you can't tell us at the point of collection what you're going to use, then we don't process it. So there are times that you are reviewing projects. If they cannot explain this particular, what I say, oh, dear, no, we don't want to go back. Let's take it for no. If they can't explain at the point of you signing off or giving the go-ahead, then you don't need it. All right. Then transparency. State who you are and to what purpose the data is being collected and will be used for. So let's know who is collecting the data, who is behind the collection of the data. So the name of the organization and all this must be made visibly clear to the individual. So without that, you are violating that. All right? Then accuracy. Data must be accurate and when necessary kept up to date. So inaccurate data should be erased or rectified. In fact, I picked up an issue recently, I think on Monday at DVLA. One day. I wanted to, my license is expired and I want to renew. Then they asked me, I said, okay, the phone number that you have there, I don't have it, so I want to change. Because I normally don't use that. They said, no, changing, they were charging me 135 GhanaSIG for changing. I said, no, data protection law does not allow that. And quickly, luckily, I had the contact of their lawyer. She was after the contact. I said, I will take you to this. Then she started explaining, blah, blah, blah. I said, fine. If it is in the law, I cannot do anything about it. But if it is not, then you are taking my money. Because I was angry. I have not eaten by then. So you can imagine, you have not eaten and early morning 135 for changing a phone number. So why were you charging me? So I didn't understand. Name. You want to change. Yes. Yes. So they have to. So what? But if it is in the law, there's nothing we can do about it. But maybe we can only challenge the law. So I had no option because they said then if I want to correct, then I should go to their national head office. And so I did the calculation. By the time I drive, they will waste my time. So let me pay and then peace. Yes. Yes, it came with a receipt. Yes. Yes, so that means by law. Because, you see, the way the lady, they say I should give her the money so that she pays for me. So that's where the suspicion began from. If she had asked me to go and pay directly myself, I wouldn't have even thought of. Yes. All right, but that is it. If it is in the law, you can only challenge the law, but not them. Okay, then the accuracy, you see, it is the duty. So under data protection, it is actually the duty of the data control. So it should have been the duty of DVLA. Occasionally, they are supposed to be telling us to come and update. Occasionally. Yes. Yes, so we can now challenge it under data protection. I said, no, they should strike at that thing. But you see, because they are making money from that place, it will be very difficult for those things to go through. All right. However, for you to also ensure accuracy, let me demonstrate accuracy and completeness to you. Okay. How many digits are Ghanaian phone numbers? Nigeria is more than 10, so it's not part of it. Ghana is 10, right? Okay. So why is that when somebody mentions the number for you want to dial and see if it goes through? So if they give you the number and it is 10, it is complete. But it can't be accurate. If you meet this young lady, she will mention wrong number for you. So she first says, let me check. Then you dial. So you dialing again. So you see, the number in the first has met the accuracy. No, the completeness. To be sure that it is accurate, wait, let me call and see. So likewise, email. At times, the person has written it. I can be 1 to you, or L. So you see, let me send a confirmation email. You are testing the accuracy. It is complete because it has satisfied the format for an email. But you want to check the accuracy by sending a test. Today, I received from the Accra Digital Center, they sent somebody's invoice to me. So now I know how much that tenant is owing. No, so it was a mistake. Then they follow up that I should ignore the previous thing, but you have already disclosed the information. So do you get that one? So tell the person that you sue them together. So do you get the point? So imagine it was a medical record. So that's why you see, to test the accuracy, it is the duty of the data controller to test the accuracy. Let me send you a confirmation email before the actual information comes. So if this one was a health record, it would have been my boss. Don't mind that guy. He's working there. He's HIV positive. Tell him, don't go near him. All right. Then, storage limitation. This tells you that this law says that you can't keep people's information forever, for life. No. At a point, you would have to discard it. Yes. So not longer than is necessary. Hey, they are warning me of time. All right, so we'll end here. All right, so storage limitation. So note that you can't keep people's information forever. So the day you say you are no longer, you have denounced your fellowship with GhanaSIG, that day, we have to set the time to start counting till then we have to delete. We can't keep it again. So if somebody is no longer your church member, is no member, part of the group has left, how long do you have to keep? That one, you would have to set your own policy. There are some that is what? Statutory. For example, Financial Management Act states that for financial records, a minimum of 6 years. Minimum. They set the minimum, not the maximum. So it is up to every organization to set their own maximum. But you can't keep it below 6 years. So you can implicate yourself by either keeping it before, deleting the information before your retention period, or after your retention period, it is still there. You are putting yourself in trouble. All right. Then lastly, integrity and confidential. Technical and organizational measure. It is your duty to make sure the system is strong. Now, this is what affected, I don't know whether you heard about this case. Somebody took boat to court and was seeking for a compensation, 1.9 million Ghana cedis. Yeah, it was in the news. Was seeking that. Why? Because, you see, somebody registered on the boat platform as As a driver, using somebody's certificate. And the person was a lecturer at Lagos. So, to the lecturer, so people were seeing me as Uber driver. Not that driving Uber is a bad career. But you see, you are using my information. So when somebody does something wrong, it is still me. So how did the man get to know? One day he ordered for boat. Then he saw the profile as him. So first, he also has some computer baggage. So he thought maybe a technical glitch. So he waited there, but when the driver got nearer and saw him, then he bolted away. Then he now realized, something is happening. So by the time he got in, they have been using his name to drive as Uber a long time. So now the issue is that the issue against both was that you didn't do due diligence to ensure the integrity of your system. All right, they say time is up. Is it? Yeah, he won at the circuit court, but now both challenge it at the high court, so it is still there to be challenged. No, in fact, I knew that issue inside out. You see, the both lawyers were thinking they were on top and they can bully Ghana. Yeah, they can bully. That's what led to that. Yeah, yes. All right. Okay, but the slide has a lot more, quite a lot more. But I think, yes, it's already said, so you have all access to that. All right. Yes. Hey, Mr. Moderator. Yes, I know there are plenty of questions. Yeah, we'll do justice to all of them. Yes.
Okay, so because of time.
No, in fact, they are ready to stay. All right. Yes, so go ahead.
Thank you very much for the presentation.
Yeah.
My question is,
yes.
You said it's somewhere it's illegal. I don't know if it's illegal for people to sort of force you to give your information. When you gave the pizza example. Yeah. Yeah. But then when you go to certain websites, I don't know if it is for commercial purposes or something, but then if you don't accept cookies, I don't know, they call something cookies, they don't allow you to access their information. Yes. And I want to know if that one too is
will constitute conditional request for personal data. Okay. So you are going to somebody's website. Number one, what are you going to do there?
To access information.
Okay. So information, can you do with that? Is it compulsory? Are you entitled to that information? No. Recently, I was listening to Honorable Ras Mubarak made a comment, and I wrote an article in response, and it became a 5 somewhere, but I didn't mind. The U.S. government was saying that if you want to apply for a visa, they will do what? You have to submit what? And we are here complaining that it's against Data Protection Act in Ghana. Who are you? You are going to somebody's country and say, if you want to come to my country, and you are saying it's your right. Who told you it's a right to go to the US? A right is something that you are entitled to. Are you entitled to go to the US? So we have no business. They should not even go there at all, talk about it. It's no go area. And people were arguing that, yes, yeah. So somebody have their website. It's not a government website. If it's a government website, you can go and be fighting about that. Private website. You say you want information. Are you entitled to that information? Well, but aside that, cookies are automatic way of tracking people. And some of the cookies, we call them essential or functional cookies. Without that, the website or platform cannot function properly. So that's why those are essential. But those that are not essential, they allow you to opt out of them. So the essential ones, you can't do anything about that. So that one is to enhance the performance. So if you go ahead and read, you understand why you have to accept the cookie policy before you move on. So not that they are forcing you, but to enhance the performance and the security of their platform. That is why. So that means they are essential. They will not affect the performance of the platform, but that they want to know where you are, accessing from, so that they can also do their advert and analysis. So that one you can ignore. So some you will still check up them, but you still have to agree for the essential ones to go ahead before you go ahead. Some too. So it depends on the technology they are using and what they are using the cookies for. That will determine whether you can decide to ignore and still go, or you ignore and it locks you out. Yes.
Okay, so we'll take 2 ladies and 2 gentlemen. So the second lady.
Okay, so I have 2 questions.
Okay.
The first one is...
Yes.
Okay, at my workplace,
yes,
a letter came from the court to provide them with a patient's health record.
Yes.
And when I read the letter, it was open. They didn't specify as to what data they need. They were only requesting for the health record. So I told my boss that I'm not going to work on this particular data because I don't know what exactly the court needs. Maybe the patient doesn't want us to give some information out. So I wasn't going to work on this particular letter. And my boss got angry. So in this case, I want to find out if such letters come in, okay, does the hospital have every right to clean the data before giving the data out?
Okay. Court orders are exceptional cases. So when it is a court order, yours is authenticate whether it is truly coming from a court. Once it is coming from a court, you have no option. Maybe you can go for clarity, but to say you will not do it, contempt of court. You will end up by refusing not to give somebody's data. You will rather end up going to prison, or you'll be punished for that. So the only thing you would have to do is to authenticate whether it is actually coming from what? A court with competent jurisdiction. That's the term they use. Because maybe it's not, they don't have that capacity to ask. So once you authenticate that, you can only go for clarity. Oh, which ones do you want? Okay. Yes.
Okay. So by...
Let me add something.
Okay.
In terms of the medical record thing, our place,
Okay.
we, for now, even if you type data, a patient data, and you save it, and you forgot about comma, and you go back and edit the data, the old data will still be stored. Okay. Because we had a case that the data entry, the system was down, so the data entry was like almost a day from the day they saw the patient.
Okay.
And when they took it to court, because they concluded that it was manipulated. So mostly when court cases, they request for data, you just give them the raw data, so that when they go and they are now seeing it, they don't see that, except maybe they specify that we don't want this one, we don't want this one. But you make sure that you just give them the data so that they don't say you manipulated the data.
Okay.
Okay, so my second question.
Okay.
Most of our softwares that we use as a country are third-party softwares.
Yes.
Which we have our data going outside of this country and being managed by these third parties. So for instance, let's take the hospital for instance. Our system is a third party system being managed by other people who are outside this country. So you as a data protection and data privacy expert, I want to, from your
So you want to tie my hands. All right.
from your view, what do you have to say about we always going in for third-party softwares as a country?
Okay. So because of that, that's why NITA is there. NITA is supposed to ensure that all government platforms are in the country. So that's the mandate of NITA. So they changed it. I think it was changed to, they were becoming regulatory, but now it has been changed that they to ensure that all government-related public things are stored within the country. So that's their mandate to do. So in cases where you are also storing outside the country, because practically 2012, when this law was there, we were not having any data center here in Ghana. So the law also allows for you to save outside the country. But in doing that, you have to put in the proper legal framework. So we call something SCC, Standard Contractual Clauses, which you can use to bind the other parties. Then there are also countries that are deemed what safe for you. In fact, other countries don't see Ghana as safe. But because the UK standard, the GDPR has listed them as safe, we also see them as safe. So for example, in the UK, France, Germany, if you are saving there, it's safe because the laws there will protect the data. But right now, if they ask you to send your data to, I don't want to say it to be recorded somewhere. Or even China. So technically, what happens is that if you are doing a project and you are going to store the data in China or those countries, they will not open the market that your project will be validated. It will not be approved. You are able to go and say it, you would. You can't go and say you can't store it in China. You are raising a political war. You are going for loan and you say you should not go and say data. Do you understand? So those are highly political, but it will not be mentioned. So a data protection officer will know. Let's change it and use another country for our data. And these things come up. So for example, Zoom or the platform. Do you know you have the ability to change the data center to another country? So your Zoom recording, you can choose any other country. So you're not staying in the US, but you choose a country that is deemed safe, and those ones are there. Yes, because they have the laws. Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so two gentlemen.
So thank you very much, sir.
Yeah.
So I know we are within the health system. So let me just ask this. There are situations whereby at the point of death, life,
Yes.
a kid is in the ward and would need the consent from the parents, but because of religious beliefs, okay, the parents are not agreeing to that. So as a medical officer or as a hospital, you need a consent. You need to save life.
Yeah.
In this situation, what do you do? That is one. And then the last one is to clarify this point. There's something they call confidential reports.
Yeah.
I'm moving from a place to another place, and they are telling me they need a confidential report. And they will write it, put it in an envelope, and seal it.
Yes.
And then will even give it to me to take it, not to open it. Meanwhile, it contains my data. What is your perception about confidential reports?
Okay. All right. So let's start with the last one first. Confidential information are excluded in the Data Protection Act. They are not part of. They are not covered under data protection because these are the person's feelings, understanding about you. So, for example, employer has to whether they should employ you or not to employ you. So that one is not covered under data protection. So it's strictly confidential. So you have no protection if it is a confidential reference. So that one, the person is protected. Likewise, professional advices or lawyer-client confidentiality. If your lecturer writes a report about you, that one is not covered. It's not personal data in that context. So you can't be entitled to it. So maybe, of course, you are a bad boy. I've written that, tell this guy, if you employ him, he will steal all your things. Then you can't go under any law to get that information. So that's confidential. So those ones are excluded from the dissent. Then when it comes to the dissent, this religious belief about saving lives, there are two things that happens. We have what we call the advance notice. So, for example, I know you are referring to Jehovah's Witnesses, okay? All right. So they have advance notice. They have a card on them That tells you, even if they are dying, don't give them any blood. So you have been given an advance notice. It has the person, they carry it along wherever they go. So you as a medical officer, once you see that the person has already given an advance notice or advance consent. So there are certain instances where a person, maybe an operation or something that they will be in coma, they can't respond. They can give you an advance notice that in the event of they do A, B, and C. You have one. Are you a Jehovah's Witness? Good.
Please answer the question.
Good. So you see, thank God I didn't lie. So that's an advance notice, right? This is an adult of a consent age of yes. Yes.
Are taking that stand now, and usually they don't call it for religious stand. They will say for the sake of conscience. And if somebody tells you for the sake of conscience, this is where I rise. The law permits a parent to decide how a child's body is used. Of course, we've seen some cases that in some certain situations, the law we claim that the child belongs to the government, and the government has the right to decide what happens. So, but we've seen cases like that, like we have a case in Canada. So in some situation, they will ask the child, okay? Because now they feel, no, the parents are imposing their religious belief on the child. So, and the state thinks, oh, in the best interest of the child, that they have the right to decide what happens. But we have situations whereby, even though these are minors, but they have mind of their own, and they will object. And now we've had one cases that said that child's should be, that child's rights to such a privacy should be adopted. So even though they are minor, whatever their parents says, that the children, agree to also stands. Of course, the children don't have this.
They can't,
they
yes.
have their own
yes.
copies.
Then also in situations for medical reasons, the medical officer can challenge the parents by going to court to override their decision. So it's also there. Yes.
So, so our lawyer told us that there are certain group of people that those things don't apply to. A child, someone who mental faculty is not work, someone who is unconscious. So those, okay, the one I readily remember is the Child Protection Act. So with that one, whether the mother is saying A or saying B, the medical officers can still go ahead. Yes, yes.
So you see, data protection, that's why you see, data protection, I say it's not an IT issue. You have to know a lot of people confuse data protection here. So you have to know which law you are talking about, because the lawyers themselves get confused. Yes, so you coming into the field, yes.
Okay, so okay, we'll take the last question from the last gentleman.
No, when we close, we'll still remain and deal with it. we will remain and deal with it. All right, Jeff.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you for your wonderful presentation.
All right.
Let's say I'm an IT guy.
Okay.
In Company A.
Company A.
In Company A.
Okay.
Per our policy, we have a 5-year plan for data retention.
For data retention, okay.
Beyond 5 years, we are to delete all unnecessary records.
Okay.
And I get a legal hold from a firm or a court of law
Okay.
to freeze the data.
Yes.
Or to keep record of the transaction about a certain data subject.
Yes.
To me, my allegiance is to the organization I work with.
Okay.
I don't know any court of law. I know my organization.
I'm
organization.
Okay.
So should I prioritize my organization's data retention policy, or I should pay heed to the legal hold?
Okay. Thank God. In fact, no court knows you. They will not write to you in person. They write to the organization. So it is up to the organization to instruct you on what to do. By most, if you go ahead and delete, you'll be fired for contempt. The moment there's court order, forget everything. In fact, the U.S. has recently done it. They say, retention. They asked, the court asked, I think it's about ChatGPT AI, that they should not delete any data. They should not delete any data. Not for a particular person, any. So even when you make the request, it should not be, and that's a court order. Charlie, court orders are dangerous. Your organization authority cannot override that of the court. So always pay attention to the court. And ask for, if they say do it, tell them, I beg you, write me a letter. And I say that you are asking me to delete it, even though. So you see, even in the law court, they will go and they say they have sent something to a Supreme Court. The lower court will stay until they hear from a higher court before they can make a decision. So when it is about court, you also establish whether indeed, because anybody can fake any letter and say it's a court. Once you establish that it's coming from a court of, remember this, a competent jurisdiction. No, yeah, we have. So for example, anything about human rights, anything about your right is high court. So a circuit court cannot deal with what? Your human rights issue. So in that case, it is a incompetent, they can't handle that. So that's why they always use that. So for example, interpretation of the Constitution, if you send it to circuit court or high court, it's incompetent. The actual one, competent jurisdiction about interpretation in the Supreme Court. So that's why they always use that word. So they are incompetent inferior courts. Or inferior court, yes.
Okay,
yeah.
Thank you so much, sir. So please, maybe you can give us your final remarks. Or
Me or me? Okay, me.
Oh, no, please. Because of time, please.
No, don't worry. We'll be here. Those who are here, we'll be here to deal with their questions. Yes. All right.
Your LinkedIn, they should go and read it.
Okay, I have a lot of articles on my LinkedIn, and I also have a column in Modern Ghana. I write a lot. If I'm not doing anything, that's the only thing I do. Okay, then we'll be, okay. I'll go. I'll check. Well, so now data protection is a very critical issue. If you undermine it, you'll be in trouble. And if you take it serious too, you see, now at a point in time, it's not about the position. You have to guard the position you have. As tomorrow, some small boy will come, and they say, oh, he has done this and that, and he will rule over you. Because you didn't advance in the knowledge of data protection, cyber security, AI, they have become the order of the day. And so long as we are using data to drive all these things, if you Google right now, folks, the first 10 most valuable companies in the world, all are IT except Aramco, which is about the 8th. Aramco, Saudi Arabia oil company. They are the only one that falls within the first 10 most valuable companies in the world. You saw the fines, 1.2 billion euros on Meta. Why did Facebook get that money to pay? If it is free, you are the product. So data issues are very serious. So the earlier we take a step into getting knowledge, advanced understanding about this, it will guide our companies, our churches, our institutions, because Ghanaians are becoming aware. They will be suing. Nobody is stealing cassava again. They are stealing data. So it will be suing. So you need to understand and sue appropriately. So data protection has come to stay, and we should pay very much attention to it. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much.
How can you become like me? In fact, yes, follow me, and I'll make you fishers of men. Yeah, and I have some channel, Mr. Privacy, on others. So I post every day something about data protection to entice you, so that you can also know your rights, know the right that you're. YouTube, if you've not started, the channel is there. But on Telegram, Facebook, yeah.
In fact,
yeah. I am Mr. Privacy, so yeah, you will see it fully. Yes. She has organized. I think you can post it on the platform. Yes. Yeah.
Free marketing. It's not allowed. Okay, so thank you so much, sir, for that insight. Oh, please let's give him a round of applause. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it.